Welcome, guys. This is podcast number 6, and we got Sewlie with us. We got Sewlie. A lot of you guys would know him, and for the people that don't, Sewlie, hello, welcome, and yeah, let us know who you are and what's going on, dude.
I'm happy to be here. I was tuning into a bunch of those ones you did with Kelsey, and the recent one you did with Chuck Yu was really interesting, just to get a little bit of background on these people that are otherwise just a username. And yeah, so I'm Sewlie. If you don't know me, I've been hosting Gods Unchained tournaments for the past 8 months now. It's with this bear market, time has become a different kind of format. But yeah, we've been hosting tournaments, doing events, giving away way too many things. And yeah, it's been the most fun I've had in a space, the most fun I've had with a video game. It's been amazing. It's been such a pleasure to be doing all this stuff.
Yeah, wow, awesome, dude. No, I love just off the bat how passionate you are about Gods Unchained. And I got to say, like, when I first started doing this, I've only been in the space for about 6 months now. And I heard about, really early on about the Year of the Gods and what you were doing there. And I think, and the more and more I learn about you, again, this is the first time that we've spoken, like literally, yeah. we just kind of logged in and here we are. So this is literally the first time that we've ever chatted before. So it's a bit, I've got a lot of stuff that I want to kind of throw at you, but we'll kind of try and stick to the time. So I've got to ask, like, what kind of got you into Gods Unchained? I also saw that you had an NFT project, with the gods. Like, what kind of made you want to do that kind of thing?
Yeah. So I gotta give credit to CK Castigador. He's one of the 3 casters from the You're the Gods. It's me, Dutch, and CK. So CK is like the overlord. His sign up, I could look it up right now, but he was like the 1,200 person to sign up. If you look at because the GU Dex number is like based on when you signed up. And I think he's like 40 behind Copper, so he's even there before Copper. I thought Copper was like, but CK's been around. He is wow. He's been there since before the client. So if there was anyone to bring us on to Gods Unchained, it was him. Because he has been in the world of gaming. He's older than us, so he's been around and doing, streaming. And he actually told me early on that he wanted to get into streaming, but for the games like Destiny and all these other games that he was playing back then, and Twitch not being so popular, there wasn't an incentive, and it wasn't as hype to get on stream and do all this stuff. So Year of the Gods has kind of revitalized that for him, which has been awesome to give someone that. But yeah, so essentially CK brought Dutch on early on in 2021. I believe in like January or February. And what did Dutch do? He said, "Oh, this is trash. Oh, this is trash. Oh, this is trash." He kept just, no. And then I don't know what happened, but it finally set in. And obviously when the airdrop happened, luckily CK had sent him like 2 Trials cards, 5 Genesis cards just to have, here to use these. Little did he know that was worth a lot of gods, it's like nice airdrop. And I think after that CK was like, now come on, like Dutch was a legend. I think it's a legend in Hearthstone, the rank.
Oh yeah, I loved me some Hearthstone back in the day, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Dutch was super high rank in that, and to go into Gods Unchained, it was only right, and that's what CK's argument was. And I think Dutch is the kind of person that even though they're so good at something, you still gotta like literally almost push them off the cliff for them to jump, Yeah. But I'm glad he did jump, because it got me into it around the time of the airdrop, like right after. It was an unfortunate series of events. So about 2 years ago in 2020, I found out I had a labrum tear in my left labrum, and had that fixed up. And then last year I was moving and I tore both biceps at the same time. Not like terrible tears, but like enough that I had to get surgery. And I had started playing Gods Unchained and liked it, got surgery, airdropped happened like the week I was recovering, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had just played for a week more or whatever, because I hadn't really met CK at that point. It was like maybe a week or two after that I was like, talking to CK and Dutch. Yeah, I was obviously a little annoying, but I think that since then I don't even think about that anymore. Like, just coming from literally doing nothing that summer, being in like literally one cast and then the next cast like a month later, to then getting back on the saddle with the streams, playing games and stuff, because I was honestly losing motivation with gaming. Like back in 2020 when COVID hit, we were doing something called Sewlie Sundays, where it was Fortnite tournaments every Sunday. And
wow,
essentially we did the same kind of thing for Year of the Gods, where it was like a $1,200 event, and it was just for fun, like just doing it, but it was for 10 people. At most 23. That was the most we ever got on one stream, was 23. And I was like, okay, I guess, it's tough, because with those big games, if you don't get in early, or if you're not like super good, or you don't have a following, it's hard to really gain traction in them, even if you have a good idea. And then essentially, yeah, September, October, I think middle of October was when the World Championship was going on with Copper, and then Lion did his thing in December. But the Copper thing was one of the things that I first came into when I went on Twitch, because that's for me what I do when I hear of a game. Go straight to Twitch. I don't even look at reviews. I just go straight to Twitch. I want to see gameplay right now. And Unistix was live, so she was the first person that I saw, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Has she been streaming the whole time? Really?
She has been. I don't even know when she first signed up. I could actually look it up, because I've got everybody's information. I know all your information. No, but they were live and playing the game, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. There's 2 people streaming it. Like, that makes no sense. Because for me, I'm like an unofficial expert of Twitch, like, as in I sat and watched Twitch for so many hours when I was recovering that I am now an expert. But no, like, Twitch has been like my inspiration for stuff, and like I trust in that platform a lot. And even if it's not the actual company, I trust in the concept of streaming and doing live events and this kind of stuff. And I didn't know how much I liked it until we started getting, the Sewlie Sunday stuff back 2 years ago, but then it fizzled out. So there was this kind of hole there that I didn't really have I didn't feel like, I have to do something. But when I was watching that Copper tournament, the World Tour thing, I was like, okay, what's next? Like, where's the next tournament? Like, what are we watching next? Nothing.
And it didn't come.
Yeah, I told Dutch, and I was like, dude, this is silly. Like, there should be tournaments every single week. There should be tournaments every single week. And I said that in like October, like mid-October. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to stream the game. I'm going to start streaming the game. No one's even watching this game. Let's see if it does anything. And one of the first people to come into the chat were Flex and Joe McGloy. And Jomi helped me kind of get introduced to Wax, which originally the Gods NFTs were minted on, but Wax, he broke my heart. Wax, they did this thing where they made it so you had to pay 5 Wax to make a wallet. So you have to have Wax on a different wallet, pay to. The fact that they gated their wallet, it blew minds. Like, it was the reason I even used them in the beginning was because they were free, and then they made it gated, and I was like, okay, this is silly.
That's insane. Actually, that's a really horrible.
It's for resources
policy to have. Yeah,
it was because, like, if me and you were on the Wax blockchain, we would share the same pie. So if you were doing something really intensive, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get anything done. And I experienced that. It was really annoying, but I was like, it's free and it's easy. Fine, I'll wait. I'll be patient. But anyways, back to tournaments. I was like, okay, we need to do something. And I'm streaming, and we're just talking. And I started just checking out the, NFT making on Wax, and with Jomi, just doing little pixel stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool, whatever. And I'd never really done pixel art before. If you look at my past work on my website on Sewlie.com, there's 2 links when you first go in. There's YOTG and then there's me. And there's just some stuff that I've done as far as art and like doing like my graphic design studies. But I never like, I like pixel art and I never really tried it, got into it. But when I saw this space, and yeah, it wasn't super on trend because, these things change with the NFTs. But I don't know. I think that's just some people saying it and other people listening.
That's it.
But yeah, so I was like, okay, we got to do tournaments, and I'm like, okay, how can we do tournaments? What should we do? What can we do? And I was on the Layer 2 page for Token Trove, and back when had you seen when there was still chests and collectibles and stuff on Token Trove?
No, I wasn't introduced to Token Trove until February this year, so I'm still very new. I'm part of somewhere between the 2nd and 5th wave of GU players. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm still very new. Yeah, so they used to do chess stuff.
Yeah, so
wow.
You used to buy, because they had the Genesis chests, but those were all on Layer 1 before Layer 2 was a thing. So you could buy those, and right now you can buy some stuff, like you can buy a board on OpenSea, and it will show up in game. Like I bought a board recently; it shows up in game. You can buy trinkets, all that kind of stuff. But what I don't think you can buy anymore, which they took off of Token Trove, is these tickets, these tournament tickets for the supposed like $500,000 tournament that is going to happen sometime. And that's one of the things that I saw. I was like, okay, I love you, GU. I love you. But there's going to be some words said, and I want you to know it's on all love. The communication, like that kind of stuff that they do where they say something and it's like just in air. Like at least say that you don't have it planned. Let us know exactly what's going on with it. Not it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because like as an organizer, for me, I wouldn't want to plan something 6 months down the line for then to, mesh and then, oh, dang, the $500,000 tournament's going on. I can't run, my tournament at the same time, blah, blah, blah. And that's also for players. Like they're trying to invest in the game. You can't ask a competitive player to just open-endedly wait for some tournament that could change their life. Someone like Devoted, someone like Fake Muse, if they win that tournament, that is... That's rent for months. That's like, it ain't no joke.
Well, that's buying a house right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what first place would be. Maybe $100,000 for first. Like that's
it's insane, dude.
Yeah, that is.
Well,
nuts.
Definitely a mortgage locked down. Like that's big stuff.
Yeah.
So where did that kind of go? Like, have you heard anything back from that?
No, I mean, as far as communication with them, I'm not like contacting them about stuff. They haven't really reached out to me as far as that end of stuff for like that big tournament, so I don't know. Yeah. But essentially, I saw these little tickets and was like, okay, so these are NFTs for a tournament, but they didn't plan it yet. And I was on stream. I remember it was like 3 a.m. Me and Flex Rifle, just he's I didn't know who was. He was just a username to me. I had no idea he ran Cujo and he'd been in the game for so long. But me and him were just going back and forth, like, oh, what if he did this? What if he did this? What if he did this? And in one stream, we just came up with this idea, like, okay, what if I made NFTs that acted as tournament passes, and then the higher rarities can be like the game, and blah, 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 you earn card packs every month, you know how it is. And so then I got to work, and within 2 weeks, which those were some, I thought I had torn my arm again, because I went one weekend where I didn't sleep. Like I went Friday to Saturday into Sunday, and finished all of them, and looked up and I was like, oh my god.
Was it just from pain?
The thing is, because the bicep stuff when you're recovering, I was still doing PT and there wasn't much muscle, and iPad stuff is like it's all this, it's all movement of this. So
yeah,
when I get passionate about a project and I do something, like it's almost bad. Like, if this is something I've had to work on in the opposite sense, where I have to stop myself because I'll be wired. I'll be like, I can't go to sleep until this feels right. I can't.
yeah.
Like, this doesn't feel good enough yet. It's not. I won't be happy internally. I won't be able to sleep. I won't be able to like sit and go to sleep. I'll be like, oh, I have to get some kind of like step so that tomorrow I can go next, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that I didn't tear anything again. But
yeah, absolutely. No, you got to stay safe, dude. And if like, how are your arms now? Like, is it all healed up, or how are you doing?
It's good. It's something that I try to say on stream a lot now too, is that this game and streaming, it requires a lot of sitting. You got to get up, you got to move. If you're watching one of my streams and I don't have my camera on and the music is blasting, just know I'm probably standing up and dancing, because you got to move, you got to get it, But it's still definitely a challenge, I have to. If I'm typing for an hour, I can't type for more than an hour. Like, it'll just be like pain. Like, I'll just start feeling pain, like. And that's why if you have a bad sitting arrangement, like, even if you don't have money for a good chair, try to figure out some kind of arrangement that's good for yourself. Like, I know that you seem to have a nice setup, but like, I invested in a chair and it changed my life. Like, it changed everything. The good desk, the good height, all that stuff, good monitors. Dutch, I went to Dutch's house and he was like this. He was looking down. Can't be looking down on your monitors, people. You're gonna hurt your necks.
No, you're 100% right. Like, we have to look at the amount of time that we spend in certain places, and it's like, okay, so I play GU for about 8 hours a day, and by play GU, I mean I do GU related stuff, be it in one form or another, like playing games or streaming or making videos or chatting or whatever. But if I'm in the chair for hours a day, if I'm in there for literally like a third of my life, it better be comfortable. It's the same as in your bed, you know what I mean? Like, when I was in my 20s, I didn't give a shit what I was sleeping on, to be honest. But now I'm in my 30s, I'm like, ooh, I need that extra.
Yeah, I'm starting early. I'm trying to get that in early, Like an old man already.
You got to get it done early, and the earlier the better. But I have to say, just a couple of points going back. First of all, I didn't know Flex Rifle had been around that long. He's someone I've chatted to a lot, and I love that level of modesty that people have. Now I'm thinking back, there are months and months I've been streaming where Flex Rifle's been there, and I think he was even in my stream tonight, and I could not have even guessed that the guy had been, like, he's just so humble, so I'm going to bring this up, and I love that with people, so I'm definitely going to bring that up. But before I move on from the Year of the Gods, I do want to ask, because I did pop in a couple of times. I haven't really jumped in because, I'm a bit cautious with things, like to gauge and see what's happening. But one really cool thing I noticed was that you had these sick little avatars running around, and they were like fighting each other and stuff. Like, what is that? And how did you come up with that? And what does it mean,
So those are stream avatars. It's just a free extension. If you're streaming, you can download the extension, and you essentially have you can download packs. So they have like Pokemon, Naruto, cars, tanks, stuff like that, where people can choose their thing, and you could have like 300 of them to pick from. I just limit it, so keep it on brand, all that stuff.
So like skins kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's like, for me, Twitch is all about it being interactive, and that extension to me makes it so much more interactive. It gives people a reason to not only be in the streams, but to actually be active and to just mess around and chat. Like, people are degens. They're doing slots. Like, you can do little exclamation mark slots, and your little avatar, the little thing will pop up, and you'll pull the lever, and it's like that kind of stuff paired with gameplay, paired with tournaments. It's you don't see that in other places, and that's what I wanted to highlight with this stuff, is bringing stuff that, like, I take inspiration from Rocket League, I take inspiration from Fortnite, I take inspiration from, like, CSGO, those kind of tournaments and how they cast them, how they show them, but then adding that, like, kind of memey, funny, like, culture that Gods Unchained has into it with these avatars. Essentially, I found someone on Fiverr, and hit them up and say, hey, can you make these? And they made them, and they came out so good. They're so cool.
No, they look awesome, dude.
Yeah.
They look awesome. Like, and I have to say as well, you know, your Pixel NFTs look amazing. Do you know off the top of your head who owns those at the moment? Because I was looking through, I can't remember where I saw it, but I did see a lot of streamers that owned your NFTs. Do you know who owns those off the top of your head, roughly?
Yeah, so if you go in the Discord, you can actually see in the Discord along the right side, people will have a custom role. So like the Diamond NFT owners will have a blue name, the Shadow will be purple, and so forth.
Nice.
And we actually just made a new way to verify. So if you were to buy one now, you can go into the Discord and you just input your ETH address and your Twitch. And all we actually need is your ETH address. And we figured out a way to look up your ownership without making you sign.
Wow.
So you don't sign anything. It's all done in Discord because the way that IMX is set up, like if you were to look at a listing on IMX, the link includes the collection address and then the token address at the end. So the collection address stays the same. And then we just look for your highest rarity, and when you link, it's hidden. I basically made it hidden so that like if you don't own one, you can't just go in and see who owns it and see people's information. So I was like, okay, let me keep it a little private, but
that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
once you verify, then you can see all the other owners. And what I want to do is what I'm working on. I found this amazing like 18-year-old guy from maybe he doesn't want to get doxxed, but from EU. Found him on Reddit. He is a bot genius. Like he made the Twitch card bot. He made the Discord card bot. He made all the verification bots. Anything that involves automation on my end, he's made in a matter of like a day. He's amazing. So big shout out to him. His name is Joris. If you need bot stuff, hit me up because I'll refer him. He's a wonderful asset. And what he loves about GU is that his things are being used. He was like, I love the fact that it has a purpose. All this stuff has a purpose, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what Web3 is gonna do. Like, it's, you know, everything's got like a purpose, a meaning.
Yeah, but that level, dude, like, and I'll just quickly say, we will put your links down for your Discord, if that's okay, for everyone to jump in there. But that whole level of purpose, you know what I mean? It's one thing for someone to create something, but once you kind of cross that threshold of creating something that people not just enjoy, but kind of, it becomes a part of what they do. Like, it becomes a part of their routine, you know? Like, it's one thing to play Gods Unchained, but then, you know, you have this thing over here, like your card bot, for example. Like, it's the same thing when I'm streaming. I've got a card bot to look through. I don't have to alt-tab. And once people, you know, bring this level of convenience in through their art and their knowledge, it's a fucking beautiful thing, man. Like, it's insane. So I love how much appreciation you have for that, dude, because it just makes life easier. And I think these artists really need to, because they're all artists, man. Like, you know, they use their knowledge to make the world better, more, you know, functional and more easily accessible. And that whole thing, I think, is fucking groovy, dude. Like, I love it. And I think he should take a lot of pride in his art. That's really, really rad.
Yeah. I don't think he sees it as art yet. And that's what I'm trying to pound, like, yo, like, I keep telling him, like, you're going to make more money than everyone here. Like, you're the one who's running it. Like, he's like, yeah, whatever. But hopefully he gets on Solidity. We get him going with the smart contracts, and then he'll really start going. But eventually, we're trying to get all the owners onto the website. So I want to have like a big one web page with, like, you know, their name and their highest rarity and like kind of everybody. So that's going to take some doing, but I think it'll be cool to look back and say, oh, these are, because there are only 595 released, but people have like 3 or 4 or 7. So there won't be that many owners come next year. Like, it'll be kind of cool to see this kind of small bunch. And I'm not going to make things like, oh, only this bunch can play the tournament. Like, that's how it was for the tournaments, because we needed to fund the tournaments. There was no money. Like, it was just me, and then we got the sponsorships, and with this latest one, with the Year of the Gods 6, we made it open. So you don't need to be an NFT owner to get into that last tournament. and it's 512 person max. So
Wow.
the last one, we're going from 64 player tournaments that are all the NFT owners now to completely open, much bigger. So yeah, even you can get in there. You can get anyone from GG, anyone watching. Be ready to get into that Year of the God 6. It's going to be a month-long event that I can't even remember. It's like over $6,000 in prizing at least.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy just for one thing. All these different events, like it's so much money going out this summer.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. And I got to say it. First of all, I don't think I'll need to pressure the boys too much to get in there because honestly, not only is the prize pool amazing, but you have developed a really good name for yourself. I will say that. Anyone I talk to about you, like just before I hopped on with you, I was streaming literally minutes before, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm going to, chat to Sewlie, and they're like, oh fuck, like, it's really exciting, So, I mean, how do you feel about that? I feel like we've all, in our own heads, gone from what we were to who we are. You know what I mean? So we were all what we were, and being the humans that we are, we always thought we were nothing. You know what I mean? And then we become something because we define what we want to do with where we are. Like, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel going from, starting Gods Unchained and, starting off with, getting pulled into it by CK by the sounds of it and getting into this thing, and next minute you're literally orchestrating some of the biggest events affiliated with and by the game. Like, how do you feel about that, bro? Like, what does that look like? Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel, dude?
Honestly, it's a blessing. Like at the base of it, it's a blessing, and like these recent events have been like, it's been overwhelming in the best way, because I've been overwhelmed before in a not nice way, and it's nothing like that. It's like, I just don't have enough time in the day now. But yeah, like this is something I'm glad you asked, because this is something I've definitely thought about, and I am extremely grateful for. I was in a rut. Like I said this on Twitter, I was in a rut last year. I was double casted up, extremely depressed, like not doing anything, not working obviously. And I don't know if you know about stuff in the States, but unemployment stopped last year, so it was not.
Wow.
No one was happy last year.
It seems gnarly over there, bro. It seems intense right now.
Yeah, it is a little crazy. But yeah, so to come into this game as just a gamer, I got something, like because as a gamer, you need something. You need a game. You can't just not have a game. You need to have that game that you can get on, and you can get your stress out, and you can play, and you can have fun, and that's your thing. And I lost that. I lost that because Fortnite became trash, and a lot of people hate on it, but that is a great game, and it was really great for a while in the beginning, and then they made it really bad, and then they kind of fixed it a little bit. But also Rocket League is fun, but community sucks in Rocket League. You can't play a game without it being so toxic unless you find the one like teammate that passes the ball and wants to score, or play the game. And I think that's what happens in a lot of these games. It's like they're so toxic, and people are realizing that it doesn't have to be that way.
Oh, absolutely. Like, just to jump in, I used to play a lot of League of Legends, and I loved the game. I loved it. I still play Wild Rift on my phone, but the reason I like Wild Rift is because people can't BM as much. They can't talk shit. And I'm going back maybe probably 6 years, and I used to play a lot of LoL, and I loved the game, but the toxicity was just next level. Like, it was actually next level. It wasn't enough to just be good. You had to be either really good at retaliating or really good at ignoring people, and it was like a three-dimensional fuck thing.
Yeah.
I hated it, man. I hated it. Yeah, so I'm out.
I have the pleasure of listening to Dutch play Dota after hours. Yeah, not a very nice, pleasant place to be.
It's not productive. It's not productive at all. It just crushes.
He's productive. He's productive. The other people are.
No, absolutely. That's what I mean. People, they need to tear others down to make themselves feel better, and that in itself you know, you can sit back and get as philosophical as you want, but at the end of the day, you're like, you know what, it's better just to leave, you know, unless, you know, absolutely.
But yeah, to keep going with your question, I do feel like we started with nothing. We started with just an idea. I was streaming for 4 people, and boom, here we are. Like it was that first tournament that really, like, I think it hit. I was like, okay, we're on to something, because we were doing the finals, and who was streaming? Lion was streaming, and the C9 Judite, the guy from C9, was streaming, and they both rated us. So we had max 456 people watching.
Shit.
So when I looked, I'm like sitting here, and I look to my left, and I see 456. And like, it's before I had set this, like, we were on like a scene where you couldn't hear us, and I'm just like losing it. I'm like, oh, I was like shaking. I'm like, oh my God, there's 450 people watching. Like,
wow.
How? Like, how? You know, I told people about it, and they're like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. But after that, it was like, okay, we are really onto something here, because people loved the events. They liked how they were going. With the Gods NFTs, I made it in a way so that they were like cheap enough, and yet still like allowed me to do the things that I do. And so, you know, so everyone listening knows, I've not made there's no profit being made off the Gods NFTs. It is not a profitable project. There was no profit in mind. We've given out, I don't know the number. I'd probably have to go back and cry about how much we've actually given out on stream, but it was really a project to create this kind of community momentum, because that's what I saw. And it's like, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. There needs to be something every week, and that was the idea behind Year of the Gods. I was like, I want to make an event that is not just one thing. It's every month, and then it's leading up to something. And now with, you know, the GU Stakes Summer Series and the Way Cool League, the starter decks, all these things happening, it's not even that it's every week. There's 3 tournaments in 1 week. I've got Blazkill on my left screen right now saying, oh, I've got to play the finals, but then I've got to play the Way Cool League, and I'm like, sorry, I don't know what to, you know, like, it's not something I planned for, because no part of me was like, yeah, GU's going to come in and like throw all this money at us. And for that, like, that on top of all the tournaments has just been like, it's like, wow, like, we are really doing something here. And for me, it's been the biggest confidence boost. Like, that's been something that as a streamer, I'm sure you've encountered. I'm sure that anyone who's streamed or just been in a place where you have to speak publicly, it's tough, no matter what it is. And also for streamers, I will say that, and I think you've achieved it. It seems like you've achieved it on stream, but get comfortable in your space. I think that some streamers, they're new to the space and they don't realize your stream is like your home. Would you let someone into your home if they're being toxic? No, ban them, get them out, throw them out. You know, I have become so comfortable in this space, and it made streaming and casting so fun. Like, it's not work. It's just like I click in, and no one knows this, but on the last stream, I was feeling so comfortable. I was like sweating. I was like, chat, I'm gonna put on a YouTube video. Went and took a shower, rinsed myself off, came back, and that was the first time I was like, oh my God, like, it got that feeling. I was like, this is my space. You know? Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, dude. It's like when you can own that space, it's cool because, well, hey, I'm not, again, not you're doing, but I think it's like there's that line where it's like you don't want to come off where it's like, you know, this is my thing and you can't be a part of it. But then again, it's like your house, you know, I see it as my home, and you want to come in, yeah, fine, but don't, you know, don't be toxic, don't whatever. No, so absolutely. Doing that, yeah, it's been the confidence boost from doing these tournaments. And recently, I will say that I haven't spoken about this publicly, but we're here. Cool. I almost got a job with GU. I went to like the final rounds of one of their positions, and there's some internal policies that didn't allow for things to go through. But hopefully down the line, that's one of my goals, is to try to work at a place like Immutable, work and do something, because you guys see what we can do. I think that, as far as community management, it speaks for itself. We went from I made a new Discord, and now we're at like 800 people, and then Juice Stakes, we just hit like 1,000 people on the Discord, and like 1,200 people signed up. Like the fact that we went from zero to something really cool to now like something absolutely insane. Like right now, I'm overseeing Year of the Gods. I'm overseeing the Juice Stakes Summer Series, Play to Earn League. And then there might be some others down the line, but those aren't confirmed.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. But even just that is like, I think, close to, I think it nears $100,000 in prizing, which, again, for me, like that, it doesn't feel real, and it still hasn't hit yet just how crazy that is. Because it's like I was excited and just as passionate and like so ready when it was like a $600 prize pool. To me, that's great. Like $600 for a card game, that's great, Yeah. But now it's like you win first place and you get $1,000 plus like 50 packs, and 3 of those are shiny leggies. Like it's nuts. When I see that, it's just like, how do you people won't know it until they get it. Until they get that card, they pack that diamond, and they're like, holy crap, this is real. Like, this is so real.
It's actually happening. And I think that's what I love so much about what's happening right now. And I'm super blessed to be in this place, with people like yourself, because I think this is groundbreaking stuff, and for people like yourself and myself, that we literally play games. That's what we do. And to be offered an opportunity for myself, it's to be a part of. For yourself, is to organize. But regardless, we're all under this umbrella of inclusivity, where you know what I mean? Inclusivity, where we can all benefit in some way from and be, recognized for and take part in and communicate with. Like this, the whole thing is such a cultural breakthrough. And this is what I'm saying to other people that I know that stream on different games. Like I streamed on RuneScape for years. That was what I used to do. And the whole GU thing is so insane. And what GU is doing right now in a bear market, to put this money out there and get people like yourself to come in and organize these tournaments and do these things, and it's unprecedented in my opinion. I'm sure there's other things like it in the past, but from what I've seen and from what I've been a part of, it's 100% unprecedented. And I'm just feeling super blessed to be here. So I could only imagine, how chuffed you feel to be, in the position that you're in right now. And like where do you see it? I mean, something I chatted to Fake Muse about was, them doing this thing, and, obviously we don't want it to fizzle out. So where do you kind of want it to? I mean, obviously there's nothing agreed or anything down in stone, but where do you see things going in the future for the Gods Unchained community?
Right. Well, I mean, hopefully next step for them is to hire me so we can actually plan these things, and get these things on paper,
Hashtag hire Sewlie. Let's fucking
Can
go.
we get that going, please? I need to know. No, I mean, I'll be honest, like recently I worked with kids for like 9 years now. I'm if I'm an expert at anything, it's being patient with kids, which I think has helped a lot with the GU community.
You need patience, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, for real.
No, I love you.
That
I
would
love
help.
You
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that the job that I had been working for like 2 years and doing the very best just kind of stopped, and without really my didn't get a whole lot of help there, I'll say. And it's been a bit of a kind of rough period, especially with all this stuff going on. So please, let's get that hire me hashtag going. That'd be awesome.
We'll get it going. I'll get 100%. Let's push it. Man.
But no, so like I think that again, this kind of momentum needs to keep going, and whether or not it's with GU, without GU, I'm gonna keep doing stuff. With the Year of the Gods, all people know right now, if you're an owner, is that there's 6 tournaments and there's Champions Tournament. That's all you know right now. There's going to be more. Like, as I keep telling you, like, come on, you think I'm gonna make something and then just cut it off? Like, I can't announce stuff yet because it's like I can't say what's gonna happen next year. I have no idea what's gonna happen next year, but I can say what's gonna happen this year, and we can keep going. And right now, it's like we went from $600 to now $5,000 for the next one, and then champions, they have their own prize pool, and who knows if what I think. I look towards like how Rocket League does stuff, because Rocket League has such a solidified esports, I guess, format and ecosystem where it's like people are actively trying to qualify. People are actively trying to be the next team to even get a chance to go to the major, to then get a chance to go. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be this long-term plan for people so that a team like Nevos, a team like Infinite Mana can say, okay, Fake News, you're gonna practice month of January to get into the spring major, and then the spring major, if you qualify, you can get, you know what I mean? Like, you can plan out your year, you can plan out your months, and say, okay, we need to hit these goals to then get to this big tournament, and that's what it needs to be like that. It needs to be this active effort. We need to create this atmosphere where we do feel like there are pro teams, like. They call themselves pro teams, but they're not pro teams because there isn't the tournament to validate them yet. And that's what GU can do, but they're not. And I'm like sitting here like holding my hands like, please, like let me. Just give me the wheel. Like, come on.
100%.
And even if it's not me, like, I just want it to happen. That's why I want to do it, because I want it to happen. I want it to for these things to get going, for the ball to start rolling. And it might be that they can't do it yet, but there needs to be something. They need to tap into, and they said they're going to do that Council of Mortal things, which sounds really cool. People will get elected and blah blah blah. But I think that they're missing out, and they're not taking advantage of us. They're not taking advantage of the kind of stuff that we do. The kind of stuff that we do on stream, and I'm saying we, like you, me, every Twitch streamer, every YouTuber, anyone that puts out any kind of content. Like, I'm not saying we need to get rewarded. I don't want an airdrop for organizers. That's not what I'm saying. It's like there needs to be someone from GU that talks to us, that we do stuff with, that, there needs to be, okay. You asked what down the line. I want to do an event that is all on Twitch. That you want to play, you're on Twitch, you stream the whole event. Because that's what people do. Like, if you are in like a big tournament for Fortnite, for Warzone, for whatever, you'll hop on Twitch and they'll say, if it's a team, you have to have one person streaming, but if it's just you, you have to stream so that, you make sure you're not cheating, whatever, you're doing stuff.
Yep.
Because that would be awesome. Like, if I was like sitting here and we did a whole day event and it was just going back and forth from streams, watching games, and totally doable even at this point.
Absolutely.
But that kind of stuff needs to have the GU tag on it, and then there needs to be rewards from GU, even if it's small. Like, just like a little giveaway, that the same stuff that we do, they can also do, and they already have the people to do it. There's obviously they're not going to choose new streamers that they don't know, they don't see, but there's people like you, me, Grandmaster, Clutch. There's so many people that stream consistently, and on Grandmaster's end, maybe they don't want him to scream what he's screaming at people, but in that sense, like, they have these people that are trusted in the community, and people look to them for answers already. They take what they say, They might have the same question that they ask a moderator in the GU Discord, they're asking me, or they're asking Clutch, and then they're not checking if that's right. They're taking that word because they trust it, So it's...
Yeah, oh.
I think it's just... It's like such like a golden opportunity that has yet to be tapped into, and I'm now in a position that I can help that out. With the Year of the Gods, you get more... we do like a submission for videos, and if you stream it on Twitch, you get more tickets for like the giveaway that I do, because I'm trying to get people on Twitch. I want people on streaming, because it's like, it's going to help you. It's only going to help you. You're going to have people in chat talking to you. Yeah. People are going to be able to watch your games. People are going to know your name. It's going to be hype. It's going to be fun. And yeah, it's just, it's such a golden opportunity that I think once they can crack it open and once they can, just take advantage of the things that are available to them, and it'll really start to unfold. And I think that's what it is. They just they might want to go too fast, too quick, like not, unraveling stuff, but we're moving at the speed of light, we're going, we ain't stopping. So
no, I hear you. And I really, I actually hear you so loud because, we both run communities, and you're 100% right. When there are questions, they come to us, and this goes back to when I chatted to Kelsey last week, and she said in our chat, you guys do my job, and no, and that's what, and I'm quoting her there, so I'm not just saying it, but like,
yeah, she's great.
We do it, and the truth is, we do it for free. You and I, we work for free. Yeah, but I'm saying it in the most loving way that we have a passion project that we work on, every day, in some way, shape, or form. And I feel as if, we've got full creative control of what we do, but we still manage to keep it in, TOS and do all the right things. And I don't have to answer everything properly, as you don't either, but we do because we have the best, interest of the future of the game at heart, because that's also tied to our future if it aligns, you know what I mean? And we don't want to burn that bridge. And I'm assuming that you probably think about the same way. So I agree. I feel like if they used, we are tools at their disposal. And I'm really actually glad to hear you say that, because I feel like that a lot, but I also don't feel comfortable saying it.
I'll
you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's nice to hear you say it, because I started off as doing this for me. Just going to be honest. I started off as doing this for me. Mm-hmm. And then as things grew, I have a lot of other reasons for doing it. And only one of them is still me. There's dozens of other reasons, and those are all individuals and their stories, and the way that we've brought things together, and relationships I've built with other content creators like you, and you just get deeper and deeper into it. So I feel as if they were to give us a little bit of anything, I think we could take it a long way. And we don't get paid by the hour, so I feel like we could do a really good job. But yeah, man, wow. Well, I will say this. Usually I run out of time, and I know we're on a tighter schedule today, but usually I run out of things to talk about. But I genuinely feel as if I could probably, shit, dude, I could double or triple this time and still have,
I'm down to do another one of these. It's just this week is a bit busy because I'm meeting up with Salt, and we've got I got to push people for round 2. They're like, my opponent hasn't shown up. What do I do? And I'm like, you're in round 4. That's 2 days from now.
No, I totally respect it, but I was hoping, and this is the first time I've asked this before, but would you be keen to, and I know this is a bit of pressure asking you on the thing, but would you do it again then?
Yeah.
Like another week or so? Like,
I'm
I haven't asked anyone, but like, would you be keen to? Because I feel like if I touch base with you, I feel like we could hit some conversations, bro. I feel like we could actually, because I love the way that you look at things, and we're on opposite sides of the world as well. So I feel like we could potentially, having the same kind of view, have opposite times, which makes us, I don't know, there's something there, man. There's something there, dude. I really like it. Well,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm more than down. This is fun.
Yeah, awesome, cool, bro. Well, awesome. Well, guys, we're going to put all the links to, and I'm only cutting this short because Sewlie's very busy, and I'm very respectful of his time. I'd love to keep chatting, but he has, put me on a time. He's got shit to do. So we're going to put links to events down the bottom. We'll put links to Sewlie's, socials and things like that. And yeah, apart from that, Sewlie, honestly, thank you so much. Oh, and also, guys, I am running a tournament this week that is part of Sewlie's thing, which, we're going to be doing together, which is really rad.
I'll say the name. Go ahead.
It's the Rumble Down Under, baby. yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So it's going to be really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, man. Have you got any, last, remarks or anything you want to say at the end?
Yeah, there's one thing that it's like what GU had, like the reason and like the one thing that really stands out from all this stuff is when I'll have like a dad hit me up and say, "Oh yeah, like I have to put my kid to bed and then I can play the tournament match." Or I just recently talked to a professor, like a literal professor, who said that he would teach Hearthstone to his students to like talk about deck composition and how they did it, stuff like that. And yesterday was his first tournament, and he got beat by Fast EXE. Like I was like, oh no, like round 2 you go against it. But he won his round 1, which is really cool. So like for me, those kind of interactions, I'm like, that's like that's awesome. Like that is just that is so cool to me. And like he even was like, oh yeah, we could do something with the class. Like that for me says it, that it's like we take it like 3 steps further. And when you talk about, the new people coming in, like these are people's first tournaments. Like these are people who would never have said, oh, I'm an esports competitor. Like people who are maybe like 45 and work all day and then they win $500 because of the card game. Like it doesn't make sense. And a lot of these games, it's really catered towards like the younger, like 18-year-old kid who's cracked at games and all that stuff, And I think this kind of game, it's just going to open up so much. It being on the blockchain and being a part of this community, it's such a good community. So it's like we've got all the things. All the things are there. Now we've just got to just use them all, because it's silly. It's silly if you're a streamer and you're not reaching out to other streamers. So like if you're a streamer watching this and you need help with stuff, like reach out to your streamers, reach out to me, reach out to people. There's so many resources. It's too many to say that it's not, oh, you don't know, or you don't. It's your own fault now. You got to reach out, get that info, because it's all there. It's so much.
Absolutely. No, that makes so much sense. Again, like this chat, for example, like all I did was message you and ask you, and we sorted it out. Like people need to let go of their fear and pursue what they want to pursue. That makes a lot of sense. It's huge.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'm definitely down to come on again. This is so much fun.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, yeah, it was a massive pleasure. It was lovely to meet you. This was again our first chat.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, we'll catch up real soon.
All right. See you, everybody.
Okay. See you, bro.
Bye.